We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears as we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Many people have pets and see them as members of their family because they love us unconditionally without any judgment. They are great companions and true blue friends. The two most common and popular pets people have are dogs or cats. I believe this is because they are the easiest animals to domesticate. Another popular animal people seem to love as a pet are birds. The most popular birds are parakeets, better known as budgies. These birds can learn to talk and like to mimic human speech. They can also mimic sounds of objects, for instance, like a phone or a car horn. Parakeets can learn up to 100 words or so. They can have a vast vocabulary of words and sounds that they learn as their catalog grows. Yes, they are smart birds. A little too damn smart if you ask me. I had no idea what a nuisance Sheila, my business partner's parakeet, would be, until that fateful day that I received a visit from an investigating police. Who knew my downfall would come from a damn parakeet? This is just a friendly reminder to please like and comment to let us know how we are doing so far. We would love to hear from you all. And if you're new, please subscribe and become a part of the PHS crew. And we thank you. My name is Mary, and I nearly got away with the perfect crime. I thought I left nothing behind. No evidence and no witnesses. I followed my plan to the T. I executed it perfectly. Because I knew I was going to be accused, a suspect on top of the detective's list. But I wasn't sweating it. Because I had the perfect alibi. It was unbreakable. A rock-solid timeline. I made sure I was caught on camera to be taped at the right time and in a well-lit place. There was no way when the police investigated and watched the videotape, they would definitely recognize my face. There would be no mistake. They would see me standing outside the clue at the time of the murders on the CCTV. They would have no choice but to take me off their suspect list. They would have no choice but to free me. I would get off scot-free. Then I was going to pack my bags, grab my passport, and leave the country. I'm thinking about maybe going to a tropical island like Jamaica, the Bahamas, Hawaii, or Tahiti. Any place tropical, warm and sunny. I can see it now. Me with a drink in my hand as I sunbathe on a beautiful beach. I can't wait. I'm so excited. With the money I embezzled from Sheila's account that I transferred to my secret offshore account, I can live like a queen. I will live the life I deserve in luxury. I will be happy and content. But little did I know, there was a hitch in my flawless plan. I received a knock on my front door, and standing there was a police investigator. He told me that he needed to speak with me. I played my role flawlessly. I acted like I had no idea he was here to talk to me about Sheila and her murder. I let him into my home, where I quickly turned on my charm. The investigator asked me, when was the last time I saw my business partner? I told him that evening. I played stupid and said, Why? Did something happen? That's when he told me they found her body on the floor in her home, stabbed in a big pool of blood surrounding her. I instantly went into acting mode and pretended not to know anything at all. I started crying hard and putting on a show, as I dramatically screamed out, "No!" The investigator consoled me and gave me a minute to collect myself. My performance was so good. I feel like I deserved an Oscar for best performance. I told him the exact time I saw Sheila leave with an unknown man from the club that we ran. I told him my alibi. You can see me outside the club on our CCTV. I would gladly give them the footage to prove I was nowhere near the crime scene. I thought to myself, I have them believing every word I say. My alibi was tight, rock solid. This was a piece of cake. I had it in the bag. As soon as the investigator is done with questioning me and he leaves, I was going to grab my bags, passport, and I would drive myself to the airport to catch a plane. About time he figured out what I did, I will be long gone. They will never see me again. Well, at least that was my plan.
She said she never saw him behave this way before. He has always been so sweet, and he has never attacked her company. This was embarrassing. I told her it was okay. She can make it up to me on our next date. But the second date was the worst, when her cat went for my jugular.
I could tell the questioning was starting to come to an end, and everything felt like it was going my way. That's when the investigator announced he had one more question, and we could call it a day. I told him okay, no problem. Then he said, "Did you know Sheila had a pet?" I shook my head no, as I thought to myself, what kind of question is that? He said, yes, she had a pet parakeet. I was confused. I thought to myself, what do a bird have to do with this? I don't understand. But I answered and said, okay. The investigator then said, did you know parakeets can speak? They like to mimic what people say. Suddenly, my throat went dry, and I started to feel sweat rolling down my face. I said, no, I didn't know that. The investigator then said, yeah, they are like tape recorders. Now, isn't that just fascinating? I sat there in silence. I had no response. I didn't have anything I could say. Then the investigator said, yep, I find it interesting. And Sheila's parakeet is a talkative bird. When we arrived at the crime scene, we couldn't get the bird to shut the hell up. So we all just stood there and listened. We were all ears. It gave us everything we needed to know about. It gave us all the evidence. Then the investigator said, would you like to know the parakeet's story? I can play it for you, because we have him talking on our video cam. Instantly my blood went cold and I started shaking. I couldn't stop myself. I knew I was in trouble once he hit play. The bird in the video started making the sound of the doorbell, and Sheila asking why was I there so late. The bird mimicked my voice saying, I need to talk, and to let me in. Then the bird mimicked me calling her a bitch, and the sounds of her knocking over a lamp as she falls over and the lamp breaks. Then the bird mimicked her screaming out my name perfectly, begging me to stop and not to hurt her. It even made the sounds of Sheila gurgling and choking on her blood as I stabbed her 57 times on the floor, over and over. The bird was the perfect eyewitness. It captured everything. I was cooked. What else could I do but to give up and confess? I told the investigator I killed my business partner because she found out I was embezzling from our business. The investigator read me my rights and placed me in handcuffs and took me to jail. The judge said I was a flight risk and wouldn't grant me bail. My case made prime-time news and went viral all over the internet. Now, here I sit in prison for life, with no chance for parole. I guess it could be worse. I was spared from death row. It's kind of ironic, because I'm sitting here in prison behind bars, just like a caged bird. But what's really crazy is that I will go down in history as the only person to be convicted by a parakeet, mimicking Sheila's death rattle and her last dying words.